Hi everybody, my name's Dave, thanks for joining me, and today we're going to be removing the 100 amp hour daily BMS from the battery. We're going to be fitting these bad boys, 150 amp discharge, 75 amp input, which is overrated for what I need. It also comes with a temperature module, a Bluetooth module, and the connections as normal. I've just fitted one of these to the other battery to test it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit this one to this battery and show you how it's done. So let's make a bit of space, get rid of all my rubbish from the last install, and we'll take it from there. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Now this is obviously it's a bigger BMS, so it only just fits, and I have to fasten the BMS down with some double-sided tape, which makes it really wide. The instructions are in Chinglish, which is really interesting. Let's get that. There's the battery. I've already removed it from the case. You don't need to see that again. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the tape that's holding everything together. Just shift it all, get rid of it all. We'll get the installation tape off, take this apart, because we're going to need this earth lead on the new one. 2 10 mils, take this apart. What you don't want to do is touch this onto positive anywhere. And well, it'll turn the BMS off. Well, I don't know if it would actually. Yeah, it should do. BMS is still working, it's still connected. Okay, so we remove this nut and bolt that's holding the earth extension together and the lead, and then we'll take off this power lead as well. Might as well, because this BMS is not much use to us anymore, so we need to take the leads off anyway. Now, funnily enough, these are daily BMSs. The one I ordered, this is not a daily BMS. However, the instructions show a daily BMS, so who knows? Who knows the secret of the black magic box? That was an advert on the TV many years ago, back in the UK, for dairy milk. Boxes of chocolates. That's got that off. Good BMSs these, still useful. Might try and sell them on, if anybody's interested. Let me know. Right. Get this old alien tape off. Like so. Now, screwdriver. I could probably risk using these, as they'll probably be the same connections, might even be the same plug, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take them off and put them back onto the original BMS. So these are the sense wires. And the earth connection and the life connection are sense wires too. So that's the 2 daily BMSs right there. Okay, so we're at this point here. So what do we need to do? Well, obviously, oh. Look at that. I left half the BMS behind. These new ones are wider than these, so I have to take these off. I think I'm going to have to remove this. Quality BMS it's called. When I worked for King's, that was what Khan used to say. He used to say, King's batteries with a quality BMS. That good a quality that it falls apart with some tape. I have to say though, The King's batteries overall aren't bad. I'm sure they are better, but for the price point, prismatic cells, BMS, all pretty good at that price point. It could be a lot worse, put it like that. There could be 18650 cells. You wouldn't want them. Okay, so what I did on the last one, I didn't have this piece of metal on there, that's for certain, so I'll take that off. That's part of it, one of the other BMS's. So this is our insulating board. This fits here, like this. Now, obviously, if I was to just stick it down and as soon as we put the connections on, it would stick up and then it would bend in the middle like this. So I'm going to put some alien tape in, hold it up out of the way. Now, I ended up putting 4 in on the other one, but I'm going to put 5 in on this one. Manufacturers of batteries all claim that their batteries are A-grade cells. Now, King's claim that these are A-grade cells, so I actually asked King's for the manufacturer's data and they couldn't provide it. They sent me a spec sheet and they said, there you go, and I said, no, that's not what I'm after. I'm after the manufacturer's data. They said, oh well, you know, we wouldn't sell batteries if they weren't A-grade. I said, how do you know they're A-grade? And she said, well, I don't. I said, well, you can't say they are then, can you? And she said, no. I said, to find out the grade of the cells, there is a barcode on each of the batteries. However, I did notice the other day online when I looked, and this same chap pointed out that the barcodes have been removed from these batteries. And you can see where they've been scrubbed off right there. That barcode information, if you could read it, would allow you to tell what cells are in the batteries, where they were made, the voltage, you know, everything. All the information about the cell, each cell, will be held in that barcode. So, to me, the fact that they've removed it means that they're hiding something. That's what I reckon anyway. Now when you put your 5th layer on, using alien tape, keep the backing paper on. Because it sticks like bugger again, you need to do a couple of other jobs first before you stick down your BMS. As I discovered when I did my last one. So I'll leave the backing tape on these just for the moment. So when you stick this down and you're testing it in place, there's nothing there. Right, let's take this bit of alien tape off here, which is obviously from the last build. Right, what we need to do now is we need to ensure that this is in the right place. Now, the BMS was in here originally, it's that way, this time it's going this way. But not until I've done the connections. Okay, so we'll grab this and this. This has the Bluetooth module on it. So we've got the Bluetooth module there, and these are the balance leads and the earth and the positive here. So first one to get done is the earth. And we need a slightly bigger connection on this because it goes onto there. You'll need a good pair of crimps for this, and these wire strippers are pretty useful too. Now, even though that this cable on its own will fit inside these red crimps, I like to double mine up a bit to make sure they get a good fit. So make sure it goes right into the crimp. This one doesn't want to go in. I'll give it a bit of assistance. Okay, and then you get all of these crimps. Make sure you've got the red one and then just crimp it in place. Make sure it's in tight, which that one isn't. Now it is. Heat gun. Okay, so this goes on to P1, like so, but it'll probably go on afterwards. Now, the next one in line after the black one is the first cell. So we'll do that one next. Now these are going into slightly smaller connectors. They're still red, but they've got a smaller end on them because they only need to fit onto those. Alright, good. Now, my best interpretation is that this is number one. So we'll clack that down, make sure it's tight. Be careful because the heat sink's a bit hot. Then we'll go with number two. The next wire in is number two. Right, so this is number 2, so 1, 2, 3 and then 4, hopefully. Number 3. Just make sure each one's crimped and not loose in the crimp. Does anybody actually know why we use heat shrink? Heat shrink serves 2 purposes. One is insulation, because obviously you don't want it touching anything else. And the second one is it just gives it a little bit more strength. I'll get there in the end. Now, that's the 3 small connectors fitted. Be careful because the heat shrink could be a bit hot still. That's the 4 sense wires connected. 3 sense wires, and now we've got to do the 4th one. Now the 4th one is slightly bigger because it goes to the positive lead, so it's number 4. It's at the far end of the plug. Now it's only another sense wire. There's no power going through this. As such, these wires are more than adequate for the amount of power that runs through them. It's not even an amp. And you just check that that fits over, which it does. Right, we'll clamp the wires back on, and we'll clamp the earth back on, we'll clamp the power back on. Is it going that way? No, I think it goes like that. Temp Num. Just be careful you don't touch anything else when you're doing this. Not on the positive side anyway. Nice and tight. That's good. And I'll turn that way. That heat shink's not very good. Hasn't been shrunk properly. Anyway, so that's the 4 sense wires on and the earth wire. I'll refrain from doing the earth wire for a minute. I'll just hold it over there. So what I did with the last lot was I taped them all together up here, about there, with some insulation tape. Okay, so that's the cables all fastened in. Right, I'll put it in the box now, hopefully. It only just fits. That's good. A nice tight fit. Oh, the cable's split. That's useful. Heat shrink. For a rescue. Takes a bit of heating out, but heat shrinking. Okay, so I'm just putting this battery back together on a couple of screws, on a screw shaft. I don't know where that is. Here's somewhere. Connections, Bluetooth. 9B. There it is. Determine 9B. I just thought I'd get in touch a bit more regarding this Bluetooth module on the batteries. So when I tried to download the daily BMS, it tried to install some type of launcher, which Samsung came up and said you're not authorized to install unauthorized apps. So I knew it wasn't legit. And that's the icon for the daily BMS right there, that one. But there's a limitation with this. It only works with one battery. If you try to connect two batteries, it won't have it. It doesn't like it. So while it works okay, it doesn't work perfect. So what I've done is I've paid a bit of extra money and downloaded a thing called Smart BMS Utility, which works with daily BMSs. It's got both my BMSs there, and I can connect to either of them. Takes it a little while to come up, but you get on the launch page here, you get your voltages, your 100% of how much charge is in it, 14.5 volts, 120 ampere hours, whether it's charging or discharging, and the voltages here, which is not bad. It's a cell voltage, over voltage level 1. That's probably that one there. It says 3.632. In fact, 3.654 is probably the one that's causing it, because it will charge to 6.5. It's set to charge to 6.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust that. So you can adjust that by going into here. You select that and you go parameter settings, and then you can set it there 3.65. so I'm going to make it 3.75, and I'm going to set that and then enter the password, which is 123456, the default password, and then that's now set to 3.75. Now if I close that down and open up the Smart BMS Utility, it should see that. And yeah, I'm a bit far away from these devices, to be fair. D3. Yeah, it's because I've got the door shut and it right on the range of Bluetooth. This is a better program than the Smart BMS that daily I recommend, due to the fact that you can put two devices in. Where I've got two batteries. If you've only got one battery, then the daily BMS is fine. This daily Smart BMS, but it needs some configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the BMS. And I'm going to show you what I've done. You click local monitoring, and then it comes up and connects to a battery down here. Hopefully it does anyway. Yeah, there we go. So that's saying it's got 100%. You've got it come up as 50% originally. So what you have to do is you have to go to the main page here, select parameter settings, and you can change the parameters at the top. So cell high volt protection I've got in as 3.75 volts. Cell low volt protection is 3 volts. I forgot those two. I didn't do them two. Chg Overcurrent Protect is half of what both your batteries are together. So because it's 240 ampere hours, I've set it to 120. Looks like it's disconnected again now, so we'll leave it at that. But I would suggest going to the Play Store or to the Apple download store, whatever it's called, an Apple. Directly download the daily BMS, the Smart BMS, because if you try and do it via that link in the instructions, then it's going to try and install this downloader type launching app, which you don't really want, because it's going to do things that you don't want it to do on your phone. So I didn't do that, I just went straight to the Play Store and downloaded the daily BMS. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.